Well, hello and welcome to Vets Clinic Live, our first show of 2013.
It is. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you all. I hope you had a good Christmas and New Year. I had a very good time, slightly under the weather with a bit of a bug, but it seems everyone's had a bug.
Was it just too much food?
No, it was more of a sort of chesty coffee thing, and I didn't really eat very much or drink very much. I was a bit abstemious in that way. And I hear you had a bit of an incident with some soup.
I did.
Yeah.
Nigel Slater was very supportive.
Was he? That's nice of him.
He was. He said, "We've all been there."
Yeah. Which was where exactly?
I was
covered in soup.
Making soup and it exploded all out of the blender and boiling hot soup went all over me. I burnt myself here. Look at that.
Yeah. Yeah. Is it? Yeah. Yeah.
Didn't affect my beard before you. It did go in my beard. By
the
way. Yeah, I didn't notice
There's still
that.
bits of it in there.
Yeah,
I think.
It was. Yeah.
Well, we've got a great show for you today. We've got loads coming up. We've got news stories and so on. But before we get onto that, let's have a quick mention of over here. We can see Katie and Adrian, who are performing a dental on a dog whose name I don't know. Who have we got over there? Fletch is having some teeth cleaned.
New year, new teeth.
New Year's new teeth. Obviously, a resolution for him. And cunningly, where did that word come from? Funnily enough, we're going to be talking about New Year's resolutions for your pets a bit later on. We've also got a Q&A with yourself and with Adrian once he's finished taking teeth out over there. We've got some competitions. We've got a here and now competition where you can win a bag of Vet's Kitchen food for your dog, which we'll come to very shortly. I've also got the very exciting launch of our Grand Pet Factor competition.
Pet Factor.
Yeah, but Jack, as you can see, is very excited.
He is. Look at him. Yeah. He's engrossed, isn't
Jack,
he? He just can't
come
wait.
on in. Come on in. Up you come.
Jack.
There,
Pet Factor, Jack. Pet
there
Factor.
He is. He's looking a bit grubby, isn't he, today? But so we've got lots coming. We've also got Jessie from Swindon's Needy Dogs is coming in to talk about all the good work they did in 2012 and look forward to 2013. But before we get on to that, our little fun competition for today is all about pet New Year's resolution. So if your pet has had a New Year's resolution, or you made one for it, then we want to know about it, and the one we think is the best, for whatever reason, will win a bag of Vet's Kitchen food. So get in touch with us as usual on Facebook. Let us know your ideas for pet New Year's resolutions. Jack has got a New Year's resolution, which is to not eat chocolates, because he ate an entire box of After 8 mints on Christmas Eve with absolutely no ill effect at all. He ate them, wrappers and all, the whole lot went down. There he was, looking very pleased with himself in the morning, all gone, and nothing untoward has happened at all, has it? How about you've got two dogs, haven't you?
I do.
And what's their resolutions?
Well, so we're talking about New Year's resolutions that are going to be enforced on dogs, aren't they?
I think really, yeah.
I don't know really. There are New Year's resolution for my youngest dog is to embrace new training this year. We're going to do some new training. We're going to finish his search and rescue dog training off, so I have to embrace that. And for my older dog to maybe leave the poo eating habit that he developed in November. Maybe leave that last year. So this year, no poo eating.
Very good. And Jack has got another resolution, which is to tidy up his fur after leaving it around the place. To brush himself more often.
Brush himself more often.
Do you hear that, Jack? More brushing. So get your resolutions into us. You can post them on our Facebook page, and at the end of the show we'll announce who's won that and who gets a bag of food. So the next exciting competition, thank you, is our Pet Factor competition. This is a big competition we're running for the next couple of months, and in association with Jack FM. It's called the Pet Factor, and it's all, it's an X Factor, Britain's Got Talent combination, all for pets in and around the Swindon area, mainly because the prize is a year's free pet care worth up to £250 here at Vet's Clinic. So it's well worth entering, and we're looking for dogs that have got a particular talent, or pets actually, any kind of pet, whether it be a gerbil or a cat or
do you know what I once saw on holiday? It was a unicycling parrot.
Really?
I really hope somewhere in Swindon's got a unicycling parrot.
It's not impossible, isn't it? There could be a unicycling parrot out there, and I think that would be within the chance of winning.
That.
So if your pet's got a talent, or you're going to train your dog to do something, I'd like to train Jack to do something, but he's not that keen, to be honest.
Is he not?
No.
Well, maybe if you had After 8 flavoured dog food, he'd be right.
He'd be there, wouldn't he? He would, yeah. So anyway, there's all information about how you enter and everything is on a new Facebook page, which is Facebook and it's The Pet Factor Swindon. So all one word, The Pet Factor Swindon on Facebook. So you can go along there, you can register, you can find out how to enter the competition, and also listen out to Jack FM if you're in the Swindon area, because they're going to be talking about it on there as well.
So is there going to be a big old judging ceremony? Where
I think there is, and I think you may be involved.
Oh, great! Brilliant.
Can we talk to you and your agent about judging?
Can I have a card and go 7? Can I do that?
Yeah, we can do something like that. I'm sure.
Everyone's going to get 7.
Yeah, we can only afford one card, which if you want it to be a 7,
7. L.
So let's have a let's talk about some news stories, shall we, Jez?
Yeah, I'd love to.
So tell us about. Well, you say there's good news stories. They're all pretty gloomy, I think.
They are, but they're interesting, aren't they? Brand new year. It's only the second day of 2013, and we've got lots of pet news stories, haven't we?
Well, tell us about the first one then.
Well, this is the Dogs Trust, isn't it? In Manchester, was it?
In Uddingston, Lanarkshire. Lanarkshire.
They've been broken into 3 times over the Christmas holidays. But we were talking about this, so that's very sad. And you think, oh, c'est tragique, if you're French. No dogs were stolen or harmed, we don't think. But it's a bit dramatic, isn't it? It's been reported that dogs have been distressed and upset and stressed by the fact that the Dogs Trust premises in Lancashire was broken into 3 times. But actually, when you read the news story, they broke into the office, didn't they? Well,
and took some computers, which is distressing, but I can imagine the dogs were all sitting there in their kennels going, can you hear something, Rover? Yeah. Can you hear something? Is that dinner? It's not dinner, you know. Ah, well, back to Chernobyl. So, we're not wildly...
But it's still breaking into a charity, which is pretty low, isn't it? I mean, you've got to be some weirdo to go and break into charities and nick stuff like that. And
then the next story is kind of linked, isn't it, in a way, which is sort of these valuable pedigree dogs stolen from Lincolnshire. So it's a bad day to live in a county beginning with L, is what I take from this. Lanarkshire, then Lincolnshire. Yeah. 15 dogs worth up to £9,000 have been stolen from kennels in Lincolnshire Village. We were struggling with this when we looked at this, weren't we? So you've got 4 poodle puppies, then 2 Malshee puppies. And we're struggling. Is that some kind of... Because the next one's a cockapoo, you know, which is a cockapoodle and a cocker spaniel and a poodle. But a Malshee, what's that?
Well, I would think it's a Malamute and a something or other, Shih Tzu or a...
But it's spelt with a...
I mean, that is a flipping odd combination, that, isn't it? I mean, a Malamute mating with a Shih Tzu. Shih Tzu is a tiny little thing.
But that is a possibility, though, isn't it? 2 cockapoos, a Bichon Frise, Chihuahua, 4 puppies, and a pregnant rare chocolate Pomeranian bitch, a sort of novelty chocolate Christmas toy.
Not made out of chocolate.
Well, let's hope not.
Like those rabbits you get at Easter.
Yeah, could be, couldn't it? Yeah.
With a bell.
But anyway, so
if you
any
know
thoughts
what a
on that?
Malshee is, will you Facebook us and let us know what a Malshee is? That's the problem. You know, that quite often happens. We get people, like if I'm presenting or like the shows that we do, and people say, I bet you don't know what my dog is. 9 times out of 10 you don't, because people breed anything now, don't they? It could look like one thing. Do you remember that dog at Crufts that one year, and you said, oh, a lovely Spanish water dog? And the woman went, it's Portuguese!
Sorry.
Walked from Portugal to Spain.
I was quite pleased to get that close, to be honest. I'm rubbish at dog breeds. I've had some people on Facebook looking at my New Year's pet resolution. We've got Mary Maddow Gladdy Wild. Quite a name, isn't it? Lily, my cotton... Oh, crikey, I wish I hadn't started reading that. Cotton de Tuliar. Have I got that right, pronunciation?
Yeah, you have.
Tuliar. Has promised she would give up pulling my socks off to lick my toes. I don't think this will last long. Yeah, that's... And Jenny's Knight has said, I hope Mayhem's is to listen to my mum more too. Right,
Yes.
Yeah, so keep them coming in. That's great to hear your pet New Year's resolutions. So news stories, we've got just a quick look at this one. I was involved with this company called Biotrol, who make these these hygiene products, and one of the products they make are for cleaning houses and making dogs smell nice and everything. And they did a survey which said that 1/3 of owners admitted that pets' bad habits had put friends and family off from coming to visit their homes. And more than half said they'd not been invited to other people's houses for fear they would bring their dog. So, you know, are our pets driving a wedge between us and our friends? You know,
well, not us.
Well, not us, because we're not really friends, are we? But
that's true.
So, but have anyone out there? Have we had experience of this? You know, that you know, your dogs or your cats or your pets have put off people. You know, you've got a dog and suddenly you've got less friends because they don't want the dog jumping up or getting fur.
I mean, if you've got a pony or something, I could understand, and it lived in your house. But I'm sure it was sort of.
But a dog, a lot of people, if you're not a doggy person, then
maybe it's because they don't feel they can say, "Please don't bring the dog."
But if you're, you know, people coming into a house which is very doggy, it's, you know, lots of dogs running around. I can imagine if you're not a doggy person, that might put you off.
Yeah. Actually, having said that, I'm surprised at the amount of people that come to our house, either friends or even just delivery people. As soon as they see the dog, they're very wary. Just because I guess they don't know the dog, it's in somebody else's house, different territory, whatever. But yeah, I would find that odd though, and it's not specifically just because they smell, is it? It's just because.
No, I mean it's just because there's a dog there. So yeah, but I mean counterbalancing that is all the good that pets do, both for us. You know, we're all healthier and happier because we own pets. So
can I pick you up on one thing? I just want to clarify. Okay. When you said that survey was that the company make cleaning products to clean your house and make dogs smell nice.
They do products for the dog and also products for the.
Oh, okay, fine. So like a shampoo?
Yeah, they do shampoos and they've got some revolutionary technology in it which works better.
Wow,
so
pretty cool.
So look out for those. And the final news story we've got is, this is cool, isn't it? I'd read about these a few years ago in Japan. This is Tokyo-style cat cafe to open in East London. Cat cafes allow customers to enjoy drinks and snacks while watching and playing with the resident pets. The idea of cat cafes originated in Taiwan and spread quickly to Japan, where their widespread success is linked with many urban landlords disallowing pets, as well as city dwellers' long working hours. So I guess you go in there and you have a cappuccino and you stroke a cat.
Cappuccino.
Yeah, that's good, like it.
A cappuccino.
Yes. What do you think about that?
It's not your cat, is it?
No, so I originally thought it means you take your cat there, and I thought that's not right. But I guess you go there and there are lots of cats there.
So really, it's some mad woman who's got tons of cats who's thrown open her kitchen door and brought a coffee maker.
I think pretty much, yeah. And do you want a smell of cat wee with that cappuccino?
Yeah.
A dose of toxoplasma in your...
But what's really interesting, that could be massive here because, you know, we were talking earlier last year about research, having pets and talking to pets and reading to pets and stroking pets all helps calm people down and make them more social. And you know, all those studies we were talking about that have been done in schools. So maybe actually that would be really popular, that people can go and just helps them relax. They can have a coffee.
I think there is something to be said, isn't it? And for the cats, you know, they just get, if they're the right kind of cat, sociable cats who enjoy lots of other cats and people, I mean, it's probably heaven on earth, isn't it?
Yeah,
lots of people tickling their tummy and...
Although if you've got cats and you went there...
You might smell of cats.
One of those cats would then likely come urinate on you.
Do you think they sort of... They just pour buckets of fellaway into all the drinks, so the whole place is just awash with fellaway.
With cat pheromones.
Cat pheromones, but let us know what you think. I mean, do you think it's a good idea? Do you think it's a bad idea? I mean, would you go to a cat cafe?
When does it open? Does it
soon, I think.
In London. So
in London, East London. They've got Food Standards Agency's approval. I don't know. Have a look.
How?
Yeah.
How do you get a Food Standards Agency approval?
Well, I guess they have to. You know, the fact that you've got cats and food. You know, they've got to have considered that.
No cat flaps on the kitchen door.
No cat flaps on the kitchen door.
Yeah, so the cats couldn't go in the kitchen.
I guess so, yeah.
You know that 5-star hygiene rating some restaurants have? I never quite understand that. Why would you eat anywhere that doesn't have 5 stars?
I'm slightly worried that our local curry takeaway only has 2.
See, what does that mean?
Well,
is it like no stars still okay? Is it like...
you should, yeah. I'm not sure it means an awful lot.
That had all 5 stars. I wonder how many they'll get.
Should we stop digressing?
Yes.
And get on to some Q&A for you. Because we've done our news stories, so we've got one really good question for you here. You ready?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay. So Kaz Buttery has said, my dog is a 6-year-old Yorkie. Over the last couple of years, he has decided he doesn't like other dogs sniffing around him, even though they're friendly dogs. It's as if he's warning them off before they even do anything. It's got to the point now that I cross the road with him if another dog has come towards us, as he will start snarling and snapping. He is friends with my in-law's dog and my friend's dog, but what can I do to stop him behaving like this?
That's a very good question. I guess, firstly, we need to determine whether it all of a sudden started happening. You know, he's getting older, but he's not old, is he? Really, 6.
6. No.
So he's getting older, but he's not really at an age where we would think that it would be anything to do with him being old or dementias. But if it happened all of a sudden, then it's definitely worth popping along to your vet just to make sure that there's no underlying medical problems. Because sometimes when aggression can just all of a sudden manifest, there could be all manner of different things underlying, and it's best to get that ruled out medically first. But If what you're doing now is you're moving away from other dogs as soon as you see them, which is a good management strategy, what sometimes happens is that we teach the dog that two things. Firstly, he desocializes very quickly because he's not getting the interaction with the dogs. But secondly, he learns that if there's another dog, we run away, and mum seems to be very happy about it. So we almost compound his fear. So what I'd start doing very, very quickly, capitalize on all of those interactions with your friends' dogs and your family dogs. And when he's playing with other dogs, lots of praise and reward, and call him back every now and again, give him a couple of treats, let him go play again. So everything's really positive about being around other dogs. And then lastly, either start to hand feed your dog, so weigh out his daily food ration in the morning, or get some nice tasty treats. And when you're out with your dog and you see another dog, instead of running away or instead of moving away, quickly have the dog sit, feed 4 or 5 pieces of his tasty treats, or of course his food ration, and then carry on walking on. If he'll sit. If he doesn't, then move him away from the other dog, make it all nice and happy, then feed the treats, then move on. But try not to avoid being around other dogs. The other thing you could do, of course, lastly, is drive with your dog to a car park somewhere like a dog park or the car park of a woods where there are lots of other dogs, and sit and feed your dog in the presence of other dogs. So you're in the car, so it's nice and safe. But any sort of aggression or reactivity or problems with other dogs, it's definitely worth getting in touch with a dog trainer or ideally a behaviourist to help you out.
Thank you very much, Jez. Well, I hope that was helpful. So that's all the sort of questions we've got. Because we've got another one from Jackie Mayo here, but this is more on. It's not really about behaviour, but I guess we can discuss it. And Jackie said she's not keen on doggy dancing. I think this is really as a follow-up to the whole thing that was on ITV, dancing dogs over the weekend. I didn't see it either, but lots of dancing dogs. She thinks it's a little demeaning, and does hopping about on their back legs do any long-term damage? I don't know why I single this out. I know there are lots of other things that can be demeaning, physically damaging, but hey, let's discuss it. I mean, from your point of view, do you think there are any issues? I mean, I think you'd probably think it's quite a good thing. You're teaching a dog a trick, dancing, it's in quality time with their owners, isn't it?
I think it's like anything. I have, for want of not being ostracised by the whole of the training community, I have the same problem with agility as well. That in small doses, and as long as the dog really enjoys it, it's fine. But I think doggy dancing and agility and all of those sorts of competitive sports, the problem with them very quickly becomes that the owners become a little bit obsessive about it, and they forget that this is for the dog, not for them. And I think doggy
But is
dancing,
it for the dog, not them? I mean, isn't it not fair that something could be for the owner and the dog?
Oh, absolutely.
And the dog, actually it's the owner does it for their own reasons, the dog enjoys it, but it's not primarily for the dog.
Yeah, absolutely, and I think that those sorts of activities are ideal to bring both owner and dog together. I just worry that sometimes it's a little bit forced upon the dog, and they push.
Something like pushy parents saying you will go to violin lessons, Agatha.
Exactly, and of course they don't identify that themselves. They think they're being, good for the child. But if you ask a child and gave them the choice, deep down they'd go, no, actually, I'd rather not do it as much. But the deal with this, I guess, with doggy dancing, is that it's interesting how people think it's demeaning, because I think that's a bit anthropomorphic. I think that's instilling human emotions and ideals onto the dog.
Because the dog doesn't really have any concept of, I look silly on my back leg. They think, my owner likes me doing this and I get treats.
Absolutely, and it's good physical exercise.
So we don't think it's demeaning. I mean, in terms of the potential damage to the back legs, I mean, it's not something I think there's any research into. I mean, I think one could say with a fair degree of confidence, if a dog spends a lot of time on 2 legs, its chances are it's going to put more strain on them. It's not designed to be in an upright position on their back legs. But they don't spend a lot of time there. Like any exercise, they build up to it with lots of practice and so on. So I think a dog with healthy hips is going to be absolutely fine. Probably a dog with a degree of hip dysplasia is going to potentially suffer and is going to be in pain because of it and shouldn't do it. But I think for a healthy dog, something that they practice a lot for. I mean, it's, like all these things, humans can do some quite amazing gymnastic feats, which would be very bad for me and you to do. But if you've practiced a lot,
speak for yourself.
How are the splits and the
all right. They're right. Oh, those splits, no, they're good too.
Good.
But ultimately, I think it's all right. But in small doses, it's just like anything, isn't it? Like if you want your dog to stand from a sit, you lure them to move them forwards. The same thing with your legs, don't you? Just lure them around your legs so they weave in around your legs with doggy dancing and stuff. So I think it's just the concept of it dancing. But there you go.
So we've got another Another New Year's resolution for your pet, so keep those coming on New Year's on Facebook. We've got Melanie has said, Diesel's is to learn to wash up and help mummy when she's at work. If only. Imagine a dog washing up.
Hoovering.
Hoovering.
There you go. You could teach him to hoover for the X Factor. Oh, sorry, Pet Factor.
Pet Factor. Pet Factor, you can't say that. Simon Cowell will arrest you.
Sorry.
Right.
Arrest me.
By the way, if you're wondering what the sound is you can hear in the background, it's not a sound problem. We don't have those in 2013. It is, as we're about to show you, it is the ultrasonic scaler at work on Flint, I think the dog is. Ultrasonic scaler, go to work. Adrian and Katie are there.
The dog would be able to hear that if it's ultrasonic.
Yes, yeah, that's a great contribution, Jay. Yeah. So basically, they're scaling the teeth there, doing a dental procedure, so cleaning off the plaque and tartar with the ultrasonic scaler, taking out any bad teeth and so on. So that's what you can hear in the background, just to show you that we really are live in a real vet practice here in Swindon, and it's all going on. We've also got a few pets out there, and outside we can see Jessie and the puppies who we named just before Christmas, or at least one of them.
Wow.
And is that Sophie? No.
Wow. Aren't they big?
Anyway, we're going to be seeing Sophie, Jessie very soon.
Brilliant.
So she's up next. But before we do,
yes.
We've got, or you've got some tips, haven't you, for 2013 and making 2013 a happy year for your pets.
Well, because everybody cleans up, like when you take a Christmas tree down, you clean up the house, you have a tidy up, don't you? You put some stuff on eBay or any other preferred third-party selling website. And I thought, wouldn't it be really cool if you do that for your pets as well? So
sell them on eBay?
If you've got rabbits or ferrets or cats, you could think about doing some tricks, clicker training them.
Pet Factor.
Pet Factor,
there it is.
Rehearse and practice for that.
And we welcome, by the way, rabbits, ferrets, whatever it is. A ferret doing limbo dancing. Bring it on.
Unicycling parrot and limbo dancing ferret.
Which would win?
7. You could maybe vow that every Sunday you're going to take your dog for an extra long walk, or you're going to up their walk just by 10 minutes every day, just a little bit. Or you could say, right, we're going to review their food and lose a little bit of weight because it's weight loss.
It is. That's one thing worth mentioning, that we're doing free weight clinics here at Vets Clinic. So again, if you're in the Swindon area, you think your pet's a bit porky, then book them in for a free weight clinic. We'll have a look at them and we'll help you help them lose weight.
So you could lose some weight in 2013. Or what about adding enrichment? So different levels, maybe 2 little plastic or cardboard boxes with a bit of word, safe word on top, and you've got a level there for your rabbit to go under and on top of. Different toys, take out all their old toys, rotate some toys, different enrichment activities.
Because it's too easy, isn't it, to kind of, I suppose, take pets for granted and they do the same thing year in, year out. And what you're saying is to stop, have a think, can I do something different and better for the pets this year?
Just jazz it up a little bit.
Great,
make them a little bit happier by either increasing their exercise, changing their food, using nice natural treats, bit of enrichment, bit of training. We spoke last year about the fact that dogs can learn up to 200 different words and understand and comprehend what their meaning is. So you could look at teaching your dog or your cat a new cue every month. Maybe try your agility or training for your cats.
I think Jack only needs 5 words, which is don't eat the after 8s. And he doesn't know them.
Or non-branded minty chocolates.
They were actually aftermates. We've got another suggestion for a New Year's resolution for your pets from Dizzy Dogs Day. From Dizzy Dogs Day Educates to Strain Stewart to help me in educating the public about the plight. And get Lola to stop eating my rubbers. Rubber what?
Rubbers. Erasers.
Oh, rubbers, erasers, that kind of rubber. Right, okay, good, right.
Because otherwise, she obviously makes lots of mistakes. That's why she's so worried about...
Right, yes, okay. Right, well, thank you for that, and keep those coming in.
Bread instead.
So now that's all we've got time for with
Sorry,
Jez.
I'm done.
Yeah, you're done, so we're back next week.
Got work to do.
Before we actually lose Jez, just a quick word that we are looking at how we improve this show, and one thing we're thinking about is whether we move it to the evening. So potentially running the show at 7 o'clock instead of 1 o'clock. So that's something, if you've got any thoughts on that, let's put a post on Facebook, let us know whether we think that would be a good move. Would more people watch? Would it be more convenient to watch at 7 o'clock? So that's something to consider.
Let us know.
Yeah, but otherwise we're back next week at the same time, 1 o'clock. In a couple of weeks' time you've got a show on your own, haven't you? Because I'm not here.
Yep, I figured we'll just tell him what happened and we'll all meet at the pub. and we'll spend an hour at 1 o'clock in the pub in Swindon. And
with 20,000 people? How are you going to manage that? But next up we have got our friend Jessie from Swindon's Needy Dogs, who's coming on to talk about some of the dogs they've got, they've helped in 2012 and some for the new ones for 2013.
And really cute puppies.
And really cute puppies. We've got cute puppies, which is great. But in the meantime, let's just have we've got a quick montage video of some of the Swindon's Needy Dogs for 2012. So we'll see you soon, and we'll see you in a few minutes.
Bye-bye.
He's obedient, he does everything you tell him to do. As long as he's in the house, it's fine. Just doesn't like other dogs, really.
Jack is an absolute dream of a dog. He's so friendly, very relaxed, so interested when you take him out for a walk, and he's an absolute delight to walk.
He's met a lot of dogs over the fields, just sort of down the way, and he's been brilliant. We've not let him off the lead with other dogs at the moment because he seems sort of infatuated by dogs, whether he's not seen any. He just thinks they want to play with him. I'm not quite convinced at the moment that he will come back when there's dogs around. But there's no sort of aggression towards dogs or anything. He just wants to play with them all.
I have fostered in the past for another rescue, and recently I came to see on the internet SN Dogs, the Swindon Needy Dogs, and thought I ought to help a local foster, to help foster locally. And I contacted Jessie. She came up with Domino, and we couldn't resist helping him because he's such a darling.
He loves his cuddles. He's brilliant for company. No problem at all. But you have to have, you've got to be going out for walks all the time with him.
Needs an active home.
Yes, very.
So welcome to Jessie, and you're joined by Sophie, Mum, and Montana, and new owners?
This is the new owner of Montana, yes. This is Callum, and this is Drew, my daughter.
Wow, hello, hello, hello.
This was the skeleton on Halloween.
The skeleton at Halloween, fantastic. Well, before we just come to you there, we've got some interesting comments on our thread on Facebook talking about doggy dancing and the pros and cons, and that seems to have got people engaged, definitely. So Brian has said, bad for dogs, joints, muscle, at the end of the day, would never entertain my dog doing it. Fair enough. Jenny Knight has said, totally disagree with Jez, saying that agility and other sports for dogs are not good. I'm not entirely sure that's what he was saying. I think he was just saying it can, in some degrees, take over a bit. Dogs which do sports such as flyball and agility are trained for months, so obviously very pro, and I would agree with you. I think we're all in agreement that they are great, but I think Jez's point was sometimes perhaps it can go overboard. Darcy has said it's Fletch, not Flint. Many apologies, sorry. That's the dog who's having his teeth done over there. And his New Year resolution is to get on TV more often. Well, he's done pretty well, doesn't he, today? Whilst not having his teeth done. Well, maybe he could come back and show us his teeth when they're all nice and clean while he's awake to remember it. He came 12th in the country in the Veteran National Pedigree Whippet Racing Association League last year. Wow. Whoa, what an achievement. Well done, Fletch.
How's he going to top that?
Colgate ads. Colgate ads, you reckon? Colgate ads, yeah, that's pretty impressive, isn't it? So thank you ever so much for all these all these comments. So, but let's have a talk about your dogs, Jessie, and we've got some photos coming up about all the dogs that you helped in 2012.
They're just the ones we've rehomed really as well. I mean, obviously we walk the dogs down the pound as well.
So you do a lot more, but these are the ones that you've found homes for.
So, the ones we found homes for.
Well, the first one we've got a picture of is Alice, who's now called Poppet. And this has actually been adopted by Maria here at Vet's Clinic, and turning out to be a lovely dog she is too, although she does like very big sticks. Next up we've got Archie. I remember Archie. This is the demon dog who destroyed the curtains, although I'm not allowed to say that because Maria's parents don't know about it. So that's Archie, and he was rehomed to a loving family. We've got Dave the Staffy, who's just been rehomed. Domino the Dalmation, who's now called Freddie, has been rehomed with another Dalmatian. We've got little Jack, the little Jack Russell, who's now called Alfie. He's been rehomed. We've got Zeus here. Remember Zeus? He's been adopted by a foster home. Then we've got our very own Sophie, who's now Cassie and has gone to new home on foster. This is this Sophie we're talking about?
Yes, this is this Sophie, but she's not spayed yet.
Right, so we're going to
foster with view to adopt.
Right, and then we're going to spay her
this month.
And then we've got Kinder and Montana. So we've got Montana here, who's sort of been renamed as Shakina.
Yes.
And she's gone home with you. Yeah. And how are you getting on?
Fine.
Yep.
She's biting everything.
She bites everything.
Yeah, and jumps up on the couch.
And jumps up. Wow, that's puppies for you, isn't it? And weed on the couch as well. Well, I'm afraid that's the joys of owning puppies, isn't it?
Today she's fully inoculated, she's covered, so she's went for her first
right.
walk.
And how old are they now? Sort of 10 weeks?
12 weeks.
12 weeks.
12 weeks. Now, yeah, so they had their first sort of starts of walking out this weekend.
Wow.
So.
They're so big, aren't they?
Yeah, and she just looks amazing, doesn't she now?
Yeah, but I mean the puppies are as bigger than mum now, aren't they?
Yeah, pretty much. They're a good sort of like size comparison, aren't
So
they?
you could almost, she looks a lot better than she
looks nice and fit and healthy.
Excellent, right. Well, tell us about what you've got coming up then. So the work you're doing with Swindon's Needy Dogs is ongoing, and have you had sort of new dogs come in? And
yeah, we've had a few dogs in the past. It's been really quiet over Christmas.
Which is good, probably, in a way.
It is good. It's a bit eerie. We've got an old lab in at the moment. If anybody's lost an old yellow lab, there's an old yellow lab in the pound that's been found.
Okay.
She's down there at the moment. We've been out searching. We've also been looking for Millie, who's a Jack Russell, who's gone missing in the area. I don't know if you know about it, on Dog Lost. I'll see if I can get you a post. I think it's on your wall. I asked for you to post it on your wall the other day. I've posted it there. She was lost near here, Cheney Manor Industrial Estate. She went off. We've got 2 new dogs in foster homes, which I'm sure we can update everybody on soon. And they're just settling in at the moment. But yeah, we'll get them sorted. We're just getting ready for the new year and the excitement of it all. We just had one Rottie. We also had to transport a Rottie that has been in the pound. We arranged a rescue space, but he couldn't go till the new year. We arranged transport for her to go on New Year's Day. They left at 8:30 in the morning to drive to Liverpool to Animals in Need to get her there.
Wow.
And she's there now.
So there's a big commitment.
A lot of work.
And if people want to contribute and help you out, the way they can sort of donate or whatever?
Yeah, I mean, we've got a donation bin here for like goods like treats or food or any doggy bits you've got left lying around the house that you no longer want. Or if you come in here, Vet's Clinic have a lovely stock of treats and stag bars, things like that we love. So yeah, anything like that. We've got a PayPal account, which is swindonneedydogs@gmail.com. And we get supported by some sort of businesses around as well. Scruffs is always very good for helping us with grooming. They groomed Sophie for us and they gave the puppies their first little clip just to get them socialised.
They're very good.
So, but they did Archie as well.
Right.
So when he was all trim and dapper, I mean, obviously you've seen the pictures of him when he first came in.
He looks like he's a lot less shaggy.
So they're really good. They do everything for us for free as well. So that's a really good discount. So we get sort of like some support from the area, but we're going to have to think of some money-raising ideas for the new year, I think.
And what about our Pet Factor competition? Do you think you've got any dogs that will enter that? Any dogs with special talents?
Well, if you can have a special talent of how many farts in a minute, I'm sure I could enter my dog.
Farts in a minute. Well, right. Well, that sounds like my kind of talent, actually. I'll take Jack on at that one. But well, thank you ever so much all for coming in, and you're going to be back as regular, aren't you? Bringing in with a new dog each week while we've got new dogs to try and find homes, so we can have more success in 2013 as we had last year. So thanks very much for coming in. And before we move on to our head vet Adrian, who is he's dragging himself away from Fletcher's teeth to come and join us on the sofa. We've got a short video in our series of how-to videos, which is about how to clean your dog's ears. So if you've got a dog with ear problems, take a look at this.
today we are going to show you how to clean some ears, and we've got Toby here who has actually normally got a bit of an ear problem, so his owner does regularly have to clean them, but he's a very good model, so we thought we'd use him today. So we tend to use something called Surasolve, which is just a general ear cleaner. It's got no antibiotics or steroid treatment in it at all. Generally, if you're cleaning them at home, just please make sure that they have been examined by a vet, because we just want to make sure that their eardrums are intact, because we can cause problems if we start putting down liquid into the ear and they haven't got their eardrum. So it's always important to get them checked out by a vet first. What we're going to do is just hold up, this is called the pinner, hold it up nice and tall, squeeze down a good squirt, and then we just want to massage down in a kind of upward motion, and you should hear it like squelching. It's lovely, and the dogs absolutely love it. Yeah, is that nice, Toby? Oh yeah. And then what that's doing is it's just massaging all the crud and the dry wax that's down there and bringing it up to the top. Doesn't actually look too bad. And then we'll just use a bit of the, oh yeah, so that's pretty dirty. Bringing all the rubbish to the top. Good boy. And then almost, it's not very nice for us because he's probably going to shake his head, but almost we want him to shake his head, because as he does that it'll bring out all the stuff that's at the bottom as well as the rest of the liquid that's in his ear. Some people use cotton buds, but we tend to say that it can be a little bit dangerous, because if you put it a bit too far down the ear, then you can end up bursting the eardrum without realising it, so we won't use that today. Good boy. Should we do the other side? Good lad. I know. So that's running clear, and then if we just let him shake his head as he would naturally. Lovely. Give him some treats. Toby, sit. Good boy. That's my fingers. Today we are going to show you how to...
Okay, well, that was our introduction to how to sort your dog's ears out, and we've managed to get hold of Adrian, but if you're watching Fletcher's owner, don't panic. Because you've been substituted by our colleague Ed.
Taken over for the moment, yes.
So Fletcher's teeth are still very much underway. Apparently it's going to be quite a big job.
Yes, he's having pretty much all of his teeth out. He's a rescue greyhound.
Right.
Sorry, Whippet. And yeah, he's come to it in this state and he's getting all his teeth fixed, but they were pretty unpleasant.
Right.
Yeah.
So dentals can turn into a big job, and you don't really know, do you, until you get in there and have a look.
Exactly. Until you get them all cleaned up, you can't really tell how bad the problem is underneath. So his were all completely covered over. So we're cleaning them off, and we're seeing, but he's not going to have many left afterwards. But he'll feel a lot better with them out. Absolutely.
Yes. Well, we won't keep you for too long. We'll let you get back and help Ed out on that. But we've got a question. We've got a couple of questions. One is from Carolyn, who said hiccups. Should they be regular? Palucci used to get them as a baby pup, now he's 20 months old and still gets them every day or so, last 2 minutes or so. Happens when he wakes up in his sleep or just mooching about. He's missing a front leg and he was born with a deformed leg. Could that be related in some way, internal deformations or problems?
I'd never say never,
but
I don't think so.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. I mean, hiccups are very common. Especially in puppies, so growing dogs tend to get hiccups occasionally. And it tends to be down to if they bolt their food or their water, they drink it too quickly.
And the cause of a hiccup is thought to be spasm in the diaphragm.
Yes.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But no one really quite knows what triggers it, do they? I mean,
there are all sorts of reasons why it can happen, but nobody really knows for sure. No, but it's pretty common in growing pups. But usually they grow out of it, but in this scenario it doesn't seem to have been the case. I still don't think there's probably anything to worry about. There are a couple of medical conditions that can trigger hiccups, so there are possibilities. For example, like in people, if you get reflux, acid reflux, that can trigger hiccups. So that's a possibility if something like that's going on. But I think if he's otherwise very well, and it just happens occasionally, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. I think that we had a video of hiccuping of puppies, so people could see what a dog hiccuping looks like.
Have we got this?
You ready to go?
Yep. Okay, we've got hiccuping dogs coming up.
They're very similar to people. If your puppies are doing that, absolutely nothing to worry about at all. the same as we would get. But if it's been going on for a long time, right to ask the question, but I don't think there's anything to worry about that.
Good. Okay, well I hope that helps, Carolyn. And Bev has said she's got a 17 or 18-year-old adopted cat. He's in good condition, still quite playful, even chasing around my 14-month-old kittens. He's excuse me. He's lost weight since playing with the young ones. He was on his own till they came along. We've noticed that he's going off his food. He'll start to eat, but have 4 or 5 mouthfuls, then walk away, and still ask for more food. He does eat dry food throughout the day, and there's always fresh water. His teeth are fine. Could the lack of interest in food be down to his age? So I think, boiling that down, it's an old cat who's not eating much and losing weight.
Yes, although it sounds like the weight loss might be due to the increased activity with the other.
I guess so. Yeah,
that's a possibility. I mean, weight loss tends to be one of the first signs we see in old cats with many of the old cat diseases. So I wouldn't rule out that there isn't an underlying health condition causing that. And it's
kidney failure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Thyroid doesn't really fit in this example, but kidney failure, heart problems as well. You can never rule out growths and stuff. So all the old cat diseases are still there, but hopefully it is just the playfulness. Similarly, in a cat of that age, and his teeth look okay, but I'd be surprised if he didn't have some kind of dental issue, unless he's had previous dental work. So teeth, again, are on the list, and that tends to be the case that they'll ask for the food and then either not eat it or eat a little bit and then walk away again, which is what it's doing here. So again, that's on the list. But in answer to your question of can old age do this, I mean, old age isn't a disease in itself, but they can become less interested in the food because their senses dull down, so they don't smell as good, and they go off it a bit. So you can either put them on a senior food, which tends to be slightly more attractive to them, or you can do things like warm the food up slightly so that the
add something like pilchards or something on, something really tasty.
That sense of smell and taste so that he can get it. But given that he's an old cat, given there is some weight loss issues and some appetite issues there, I would book him in. If you're here, we do a senior clinic, but most vets do a senior clinic where you can just check that they're not starting to get any of the signs of the old cat diseases, and that's not what's causing the problem. And then hopefully it is just that, he's getting a bit old and he's losing his sense.
I mean, 17, 18 is a very old cat. I mean, it's a sort of 90-year-old cat, isn't it? So, lovely. Thank you, Adrian. Just before we let you go, we've had a few comments through for New Year's resolutions come through on the Vet's Kitchen page. So we had some good ones here. We had Patricia Lindsay said, to get the answer to what is causing my border collie Sam's skin condition. That's his New Year's resolution. Carla says, Tia says her New Year's resolution was to eat more slowly. Mine too. Sadly, this resolution was broken at breakfast yesterday morning. As I'm sure she's a Hoover disguised as a dog. I think it's just because she's eating Vet's Kitchen food, to be honest. And Sarah has said, my Cocker Spaniel Ozzy has a few New Year's resolutions. He will have our full support, of course. Here is his list. To stop overindulging, reduce ingestion of cat fox poo to once a week. To learn about the world, find out where the rubbish guys are stealing all of our rubbish. Self-control emotionally, stop wearing emotions on his tail. I like that. Self-control physically, run after the ball after it's actually been thrown. Jack does that. You sort of go like this and he's off, and then he runs in entirely the wrong direction. Mary has said, Merlin has agreed to give up alcohol. That's quite impressive for a dog, but as a dog he does not drink it anyway, so it's a bit of a cop-out. So we've got to choose a winner, and I think that we should give the winner to Sarah and her dog Ozzy, because you've really put a bit of thought into that. Yes. Ozzy's not just got one resolution, he's got 4. So poor old Ozzy, he's got a lot to live up to in 2013, but hopefully he can get his ingestion of fox poo down to once a week. That'd be a good, good achievement. I try and get mine down to that kind of level, and achieve those other resolutions. So well done to Sarah and your dog Ozzy, and we'll send you a bag of Vet's Kitchen food for that. So well done indeed. We also had a question on the Vet's Kitchen Facebook page, so you can interact with us on there as well. And if I can just find that question. Recent post by others. We may struggle to find that. Here we go, right. From Lorraine, and Lorraine has said, my friend's cat is pining for her dad who died 3 weeks ago. She's not eaten much. How can I help her? She's got a jacket to lie on, but what should I do next? She's 13 years old. My friend does not know what to do next. So a cat that's pining for a lost cat, I mean, it's a tricky one, isn't it?
Yeah, it happens.
Any thoughts on?
All the time. I mean, time.
Yeah.
You got to the 3 week point now, you said, but time is required. It can take longer than that, especially dogs, possibly more than cats. It's just about really TLC and giving them the other things that they really like in their life. So, you know, some good food there, something maybe some
distraction.
Exactly.
Another a new kitten?
Well, possibly.
It can go one or two ways,
yeah,
can't
exactly,
it? It doesn't always work.
Exactly. I think if she was slightly younger, I'd say definitely. She's slightly older, and sometimes older cats that struggle to cope with the loss of another cat are actually going through slight senility changes.
Right.
And any change in the environment is very stressful for them, very difficult for them to cope with. So something else coming in as well might not work, but it depends. She's not that old a cat, so it may.
So you think really, so the time distraction with some nice treats, things like that should help her through it. Then she'll get there in the end. Lovely. Well, I think that's about all we've got time for. We need to let you go back and continue with Fletch that Ed is coping very well with over there. Yep. So thank you all for watching and for your interaction. And don't forget our Pet Factor competition, which is launching now. So go to The Pet Factor Swindon on Facebook, find out all the details. You can register on there. You can start training your pet. So we're looking for limbo dancing ferrets, for parrots on unicycles, dogs that can dance, you name it. We want to see the videos of your pet, and there's a great prize, which is a year's free care here at Vets Clinic in Swindon. So if you live anywhere near here, it's well worth entering. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next week at 1 o'clock.